Bite the body of the earthworm. A juicy body is a rare delicacy. Supreme March. Have priority in the future. Any moving object. It's hard to escape their huge fangs. And it's very useful. Build temporary shelters by building walls. Protect future safety is the sacred duty of all marchers. Even such a powerful kingdom. You will also encounter epic challenges. The inconspicuous 7-leaf in front of me. I will use my own practical actions in the future, completely subvert the perception of the army. The 7 leaves after the marriage fertilizer is mated will be ready to give birth. Male intangible cultural heritage that they mate with. Dying slowly due to exhaustion of energy. Cruel scavengers will remove their bodily fluids. Suck up. Now all hope is pinned on the female. Later on, to avoid danger, he has to dig down quickly. Now, he doesn't have any helpers. All the work has to be done by yourself. As the depth increases, his wings became his greatest burden. Nothing can slow down the progress of the excavation. Bend your body later. Break your wings with your hind legs. To build his empire. This pain is obviously not worth mentioning. Once the tunnel to the underground is opened, he will seal himself in darkness forever. After 100 billion, sacrifice your body. Laid the first eggs. In the early days of the dynasty, there is no food in the cave. Later, by depleting the muscles on the wings and break down part of the brain for food, get by. In the future, before leaving the mother court, he'll take a small regiment in the military, put it in his mouth pocket as a dowry. In order to cultivate the rapid growth of the military division, he doesn't hesitate to use excluded eggs for breeding. Now the first batch of smaller processes took over the work of the fungus. They rely on the bacteria in their breath to maintain the growth of mycelium, with the first food supplies. After the serum, you can lay eggs with peace of mind. But as Group B continues to grow, they need more food to feed the mycelium. This requires more professional foragers. Eat a lot in the future, and it is converted into a yolk and stored in the egg, in order to hatch a bigger reminder during development. This larger group of larvae has sharp predators. The inside of the crocodile contains heavy metals such as new copper light. This is also destined to make it to become an efficient worker. After the body hardens, the chiba ants will be endlessly dedicated to their work. The fungus emits a chemical signal. It tells the 1,000-leaf ant what kind of leaf it wants to eat, to collect. They are willing to climb nearly 40 meters of trees. The young leaves at the top are the main target of their collection. Chiba bees' weight, more than half are derived from the muscles of the head, sharp as scissors. Can easily split a leaf in two. The sound of cutting will attract more ants to consciousness. Without any intervention, they can do it within 24 hours. Consumes an entire leaf. There's no slacking around in the ant world. They move supplies in neat formation. Small body. You can even lift objects 10 times your size. Work hard every day. The genes that make them engraved in their bones. During the collection process, they will gradually figure out how to quickly effective collection method. But mistakes are inevitable. But the smart ones never come home empty-handed. Living in a dark cave for a long time, degeneration of visual function, they follow the scent to find their way home. Sometimes we encounter some unpredictable roadblocks. But if the obstacle lasts for a long time, stuck in the middle of the route, the craft will immediately drive away. En route. Smaller processes are constantly clearing obstacles to ensure the unobstructed transportation channel of Chiba bee. Although the transportation was very difficult, but the moment I went back to the cave, it's all worth it. Gombi will arrange the leaves neatly and orderly to ensure that every sergeant can eat food. In return, after the fungus eats the leaves, they grow white mushrooms. These mushrooms give the larvae hope of survival. It also gives the confidence to continue to lay eggs in the future as the fungus continues to grow. So you have to dig down in order to expand more space to cultivate fungi. In just the past 6 months, the number of ant kingdoms has arrived around 5 million. With enough food. It's like a giant egg-laying machine. Now, he is gradually relieved of the burden of command, but he needs to make another sacrifice. The public is in charge of the illegitimate son. The body will be completely buried with fungal mushrooms to maintain uninterrupted spawning for 24 hours. They imprison the future alive. It will lay eggs in it forever, until the last bit of energy is drained from the body. In a jungle several kilometers away, a group of marchers began to build shelter. After the marching device built the city wall with its body to protect it, each workbench is connected in series with each other, And that spirit of cooperation is one of the wonders of the ant world. The march has become known as the king of fighting. Even some large animals all give 3 points to their tusks. They have no fixed nests. The body is their temporary fortress for the night. 3 million army made their camp impregnable. After the sun rises, the new army begins the day of hunting. And like Chiba, they lived on meat. This is also the collision of 2 ant kingdoms. Foreshadowed, they launch a full-scale assault on powerful stereotypes. Please search in a 10-meter row with a large army. Any moving creature will become their prey. Every march has a paralyzed stinger. And the deadly money house evil. Even the prey that is bigger than their tree tablet. It's hard to escape the doom of being besieged. Powerful predators can shred prey, decomposing corpses in an instant. Even the tough black shoes can't escape their murderous hands. In front of a huge foundation, any resistance is futile. Even the wasps in the trees are their targets. The march is on. Straight to the hive. The poisonous wasp can only be captured without a fight. The larvae inside are their daily snack. Rather than searching, it appears to be aggression, the best way to get food quickly. The second legion climbed the tree one after another. A colony of black ants seeks to avoid predators, hanging from a tree to build a nest. A major war is inevitable. Give orders after the march, send out military service, and start the assault. The black ant soldiers rush down to meet the enemy, but the army marched with a huge teeth have an innate advantage. They bite the body of the black ant and jump off the top of the tree. Soldiers from both sides fell like raindrops to weaken the power of the black ants. In the face of a vast foundation, such resistance is like a cousin. Just an hour. March B breaks through the black ant's layers of defense. Fat juicy larvae. It is a high-quality source of protein. This green flower makes the shape B army full of harvest. All the food has to be moved to the front for the future. Make delivery, obey orders, is the bedrock of the efficient operation of the Legion. When encountering impassable waiting roads, Public B will be replaced by adults for the passage of large troops and guarded by dancing crocodiles so we can protect our food. Safe transportation in just one day. Over 30,000 creatures were captured. This is also for the growth of the Star Legion. Establish sufficient reserves on the move. The nest of the Chiba ants is close at hand. With an adequate supply of food, Chiba ant populations are also growing significantly. Unlimited resources in the forest became their natural granary. The Chiba ant kingdom has also ushered in its heyday. May I not have thought of it in the future. The first to strike back were the surrounding trees. Plants always give the impression of being weak. But if they join forces to fight back, will bring great disaster to the ant kingdom. When sharp predators cut leaves, some trees can sense they are constantly being violated. To passively activate the defense mechanism, leaf surfaces produce and release toxins. When bringing toxin-laden leaves back to the nest, it would be catastrophic for military mushrooms. The process of getting the leaves is as usual. Feed the leaves to the fungus. Once the fungus is infected, it quickly withers. This strategy of attack and defense transformation, giving trees a chance to survive. This toxin forces ants to constantly switch battlefields. However, from another perspective, this way, the trees can breathe. It also helped Chiba save most of his resources. This toxin, it will also cause them another kind of trouble. A Chiba wing infected with a zombie fungus is constantly climbing up. His body has been fully controlled. The fungus in the body controls the body, finding suitable habitat. Once the target is confirmed, the fungus will cause B to bite the leaves with its teeth. As time goes by, cutting leaves B will gradually die. Adequate nutrition to cause the zombie fungus to spew out of the body. And finally, fungal fruiting bodies burst out of his head. Come. It's a little bit like our common caterpillar fungus. Growth to a certain stage, the corpse will bulge a big bag. Once the spherical vessel matures and erupts, the buns will spread with the air. Find a host again. Just later, still in the midst of the grief of losing his people, the mighty army of Shingi has arrived near the nest. And the seven-winged nest, it's part of their migration. There's no denying it, a close battle is about to break out. Crazy army ants flood into the hole. The front forces of both sides have begun to confront. Although army ants possess powerful tusks, but the Chiba ants' predators are also responsible. The war between the two sides is imminent. Smaller processes have begun to transfer larvae. They were defenseless against massive invaders. In a one-on-one situation, move. Wild soldiers cannot march with carnivore at all. Military service confrontation. But if they work together, March B is also difficult to resist for a while. As the ranks of March B continue to pour in, a battle of destiny has officially begun. After the march outside the cave, chemical signals are sent out. Order the soldiers to look for traces after Akiba. In the future, once you die, it means the war is over. But Chiba, with millions of soldiers, will it stay with the Lamb in the future? He also hit a powerful regular army. Chiba Military Service Plus. Huge body, that's 5 times more than the rest of the military. These black crocodiles are not for leaf cutting. Huge brains full of muscles. Strong bite. Let the cutter take over quickly. Cooperate with the siege of other military services. The torture device soon showed a route. Shingi's army watched the world defect. One after another began to retreat. Chiba has regained control of the situation. There are corpses all over the cave. Public B must start cleaning as soon as possible. Ants that die can infect the fungal body. The elderly public mud will take the initiative to undertake the cleaning work. They threw the body into the pit. In this battle, 1,000 enemies and 800 self-losses. Giano has lost the multivariate general. In a brutal war, there is never a true winner. The elderly Ganji was carrying the corpse at the same time. The body can also be infected by cadavers, so he can't go back to the lair to continue working. The dark chamber is their final destination. They will work here until they die. It may be that victory brings life to the kingdom. I gave birth for the first time. There is hesitation about these male or female intangible cultural heritage. When will the weather get dark? Thus continuing the racial bloodline of the Thousand Knights Empire and a domineering march. B will not give up. We'll recuperate later. Regroup? Once it recovers, it will come back again.